Namo tas bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tas bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tas bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So this today is the 8th lesson. Okay, so Lasni, can you tell me what you remember about this topic? Can you summarize what you know about Abhidhamma?
I think the last thing was the meritorious deeds.
Yes, the meritorious deeds. And why do we do those meritorious deeds?
It's kind of like good karma.
Yes, and when you do those things, there are positive mind energies that occur in the individual who does them, and thereby creating positive karma. You're right. Thank you. So basically, we'll give a quick overview anyway. So let's begin. So thank you everyone for joining. So today's topic is about the mind energy subject, and we're going to talk about the 15 mind energies that occur in the fine material realm called Rupavachara. So we'll go over that and then cover the different mind energies. These mind energies can also occur in the beings or in the humans that practice meditation in the human realm also. So through the concentration meditation called Samatha meditation, which is basically focusing on one particular focus for hours and hours, when you do that, your concentration will develop into a very higher states called Dhyana states, and Dhyana states meaning that your concentration has very developed into a quite high level where you can stay focused for longer periods. Some people can do 2-3 hours, some people can do days and weeks, and when you do that, you basically are creating mind energies that occur in the Bramma worlds. There are 31 realms that we get born again and again, and we'll cover that also. And then in those realms, the beings that exist, they have a particular mind energy type called Dhyana, and there's 5 levels of Dhyana. When you reach 4th and 5th level, they say that you can get special powers and things. So those beings have those level of mind energies, and also the monks and these Brahmas that practice meditation in the Indian societies can achieve these higher mental states called Dhyana. And when you and I can also do that if you want to achieve that level of mental state, of level of concentration, and you can actually see these realms with your own mind also. So let's go into the subject. So that's the kind of topic we're talking about today. So the next one, I want to just cover the 31 planes of existence. Lasini, do you remember seeing this?
Yeah.
So today we're mainly talking about the beings in these worlds from 12 to 31. So there's 20 realms there. And to your right, it says first Dhyana plane, second Dhyana plane, third, fourth, and all these orange ones are 5th, basically. According to Abhidhamma, there are 5 levels of Dhyana or concentration development levels. The fifth one is basically occur in these 4 realms. So today we're going to look at what those 5 levels are, and there are 3 lots of 5s. That's how the 15 Rupavachara mind energies were created. Now, in the human world, and even in these heavenly worlds, beings can meditate and achieve these 5 levels of concentration. And but they don't constantly experience these 5 levels. You know, if you want to achieve the first dhyana state, then you have to really focus on it and then achieve it once you're at that level. But the beings in these worlds, is their normal concentration level is first dhyana in these 3, second dhyana in these 3, and third dhyana in these 3, and then fourth dhyana in these I think 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, in these 7 realms, and then fifth dhyana in these 4 realms. So just like it's normal for us to have kusal and akusal mind energies. In these realms, they only have kusal mind energies or positive mind energies at a very high level of concentration, and it's norm for them. That's how they live their day to day, with these kind of pure blissful states of mind energies. So today we're just going to talk about the mind energies that help us to be born in these realms, called vipaka. Vipaka is the meaning of resultant. So when you do a karma, which is a kusal or negative, positive or negative kusal action, the result of that is called vipaka in Pali. So the meditation that the non-Buddhists mainly do, or even the Buddhists who haven't achieved nirvana, when they do meditation in these realms, the results of them, if they achieve this level of concentration, is after they die, they could be born in these realms based on the level they got to at a concentration level. Does that make sense? Lasini, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Great. And Nira, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Great. Himash Mali, thanks for joining. I don't know if you got all that, but does that make sense to you? Himash Mali, can you hear me?
It's
You understand that, right?
yes, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. So now we'll go into the 15 different levels. But before that, let's cover some of the basics as we normally do in every lesson, just to put things into context. So we're focusing on 15 mind energies today out of the 89. And as you know, when we talk about Abhidhamma topic, what we're really talking about are the energies that really exist. And there are 170 of them, including the Nibbana energy, which is 1. And these 170 energies are categorized into 4 separate categories. Their English and Sinhalese and Pali meanings are here. So I call it mind energy, but in Pali language, it's called chitta or vijnana, but in Sinhala language, it's called sita. So there are 89 types, and we talked about the other types, but today we're talking about 15 of these 89 types. So if you can imagine, these are like, like unique mind energies that exist in different beings in different realms. That's what this 89 is made of. And then these 89, encompassing these 89 are the 52 thought energies. These are really mental factors. But for simplicity, I call them thought because we can relate to it better that way. Or in Sinhalese, it's called Situvili. In Pali, it's called Chaitasika. In English, I call it thoughts. So we can relate to it because we all have thoughts, and these thoughts can be classified to unique 52 thoughts. And we covered those in the first few sessions. So I highly recommend you to revisit them if you've forgotten it. It's important that we learn them and we memorize them, and we try to identify them as they occur in our minds. Because those 52 thoughts is what creates karma, for the beings. And they can be two types, positive and negative, or kusal and akusal. So it's important for us to identify what those thoughts are as they occur. To do that, you have to learn about them. That's why this subject is very important, because if you want to really take control of your own mind, you have to learn the mechanics of that mind. And this is the only subject that talks about the mechanics of the mind in this level of details. If you can imagine your mind to a computer, no one has given you an owner's manual. Every kind of device, every kind of machine normally comes with the owner's manual, but the most complex device, which is our mind, doesn't have one. So only the Tathagata Buddha has created one called Abhidhamma. And this is basically explanation of that. So the mechanics of our mind really is made of two types of energies, mind energy and thought energy. Any being that has a mind has those two types of energies, and using the mind energy and thought energy, they create various types of karma, good and bad. And based on those karma, we basically experience what we experience in our day-to-day life. And it is the desire that binds us from moment to moment, from thought energy to another thought energy, from mind energy to mind energy. It is the desire thought that binds us mainly. And also the ignorance thought is the root cause of desire, and also the anger or the hatred. So it is at thought level that we talk about in this lesson, and there is only lesson that talks about only kind of subject that talks about thought and mind energies at this level. So if you want to understand yourself, you have to learn the different thoughts that can occur and will occur in your mind. And that's why these 52 thoughts are very important. So I highly recommend you revisit the first, maybe the second and the third videos that talks about the 52 thoughts. It's very important to learn about them by heart. And that way, because in those lessons, we talk about what are the positive thoughts, what are the negative thoughts. So it's really the negative ones we have problems with, not the positive ones. So there are 14 negative thoughts out of the 52. So it's important to understand what they are and realize as they occur in your mind, so that you can focus on it and say, don't get attached, and then they disappear. So some of those thoughts are like anger, desire, ego. Ego is a thought that will stay with you until you achieve nirvana. So it's important that we manage that. We make the ego thought as less powerful as possible in our mind. Whenever we feel the ego thought is being in use in our mind, we have to recognize it and focus on it and say, don't get attached, as at a beginner level. When you're at advanced level, when you recognize it, you can just observe it as a as a third person, and then watch the ego thought energy appears and how it behaves and how it disappears, and the root causes why that energy came to existence. You will begin to see these when you observe a given energy. So it's important to be mindful of your thoughts, because people do crazy things when because of ego, because of anger, right? Because of jealousy. It's because they don't know how to manage it. So in Buddhism, it is the highest quality of psychology that ever exists, and it talks about the best way to manage this is to recognize them and observe them as a third person, and observe it until it disappears. Because it doesn't matter whatever the thought is, if you in that moment, rather than getting attached to the story the thought comes with, if you just sit back and just watch how your mind works in that moment, by detaching from the thought and just observing as a third person, you will realize that the thought cannot exist on its own without your support, without your desire. It cannot sustain itself. So the moment you detach from the thought mentally and visually, and if you observe it, it has to die down. It has to disappear. So you'll experience this when you start to do that. Try to do that a couple of minutes a day. Whenever you're mindful about your thoughts and feelings. This is the same process for feelings also. So feelings are also energy, and there's a feeling meditation called Vedananupassanaava, and thought meditation called Chittanupassanaava or Nivarana meditation. These are all Satipatthana or mindful, insightful meditation techniques taught in Buddhism. So I highly recommend you listen to or read on these insight meditation techniques as taught in Buddhism, and practice as they occur in your mind. So that's what the thought energy is about, and material energy. So this 28 energy types is what creates all material things around us. Even our body, all the physical things that exist, and basically they're all constructions of these energy. So if you imagine there are 28 Lego pieces, and using these 28 Lego pieces, if I can tell you that you can create any physical objects that exist in this world, whether it's a car, house, whatever. There's only 28 types of Lego pieces that exist, or 28 different shapes. And using these 28 shapes, if I tell you that you can create any construction that exists in this realm and other realms, that's the way you got to look at it. Because when you look at it like that, it may take millions and billions of pieces, but there are 28 unique pieces that creates a material energy, and it's called rupa. That's the name given to it, given to that category of energies called rupa. Rupa basically is a category that's given to these 28 material energies. And the thing about these material energy creations is that we have to know that they're all made of Lego. They're all made of pieces that you cannot see on their own. Right? They're so micro level that our eyes, our senses cannot see, except the only apparatus that can detect these is a developed wisdom thought that exists in all of us. So knowing that, that's why we have to purify our wisdom thought through insight meditation, because our wisdom thought is not pure enough to see this fine level of energies. And when we purify it through insight meditation, it becomes sharper and sharper and sharper, so that it can see things that our eyes cannot see, the micro level things. And that's what meditation does. It develops your either concentration or your wisdom. Those are actually 2 thoughts out of the 52 thoughts. And those 2 mental muscles can only be exercised through a meditation. So that's why that is the purpose of meditation, so that ultimately our wisdom thought can be fine-tuned, can be purified to the level that we can actually see the most purest of energy that exists, called Nibbana. Nibbana energy is the most purest. It is most pure than the other 169 energies that we talk about in Abhidhamma. It doesn't have any characteristics of the other 169 energies. It's in its own class called Nibbana, and it has no beginning, no end. It just maintains itself, and it has no desire. It's so pure. It has no characteristics of any of the thoughts, any of the mind energies, any of the Rupa energies. It's in its own class. So for us to convert our mind energies to Nibbana energy, that's what the insight meditations ultimately achieves. The insight meditation helps us to purify our wisdom thought, so until it can connect, it can see the Nirvana energy, and ultimately our wisdom thought get converted into a Nibbana energy. And at that point, we cease to exist. We don't get born again after this life, because the construction kit has been dismantled and disappeared permanently. That creates the next mind energy. Hopefully that explanation got you more closer to this teaching and what we're talking about. Any questions so far before we move on? Lasini, did you understand that? Did you have any questions on that?
No questions, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions so far?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So this chart, I created this chart to explain the relationship between mind energy and thought energy, called the Nama Dharma in Pali. So what I'm trying to say here is that this black line, this basically, think of it as a vibration. There's a single vibration. In that vibration, you have 2 types of energies, mind energy and thought energy. The mind energy is what's represented in the black line, which is the foundation for the thought energy to be created. And then you have the thought energy, which are color-coded according to the 7 fundamental thoughts that exist in every mind energy. Every one of 89 mind energies exist these 7 thoughts. They're called contact, feel, recognition, intention, one-pointedness, the faculty of life. Faculty of life meaning that's what gives life to sustain all these thoughts in the mind energy and to recall. So when you're recalling something, we're using the recalling thought. When you're concentrating, when you practice concentration meditation, we exercise in the one-pointedness thought. Right? The opposite of this is the distraction thought. When your distraction thought is stronger, you can't concentrate. That's why you have to exercise the one-pointedness thought through the samatha bhavana or the concentration meditation. Whenever you feel something, whether it's happiness, sadness, or neutral feeling, this is the thought that get exercised. This is the thought that helps you to feel the feelings in your body. This thought give a message to your mind energy saying you're now experiencing a happy feeling, sad feeling, or a neutral feeling. So it's very important thought. And then the contact thought is basically what helps you to make a focus, right? Because when our eyes look around, we don't focus on everything we look around. We only focus what's important to us. So whenever the focus is exercised, your mind energy make contact with whatever you're focusing on. And it's through this thought that you make contact. And once you make contact, you recognize what it is that you made contact with is through the recognition thought. So recognition thought basically helps you to understand that you're seeing a car, a person, is this person, is this car, like that. These are all recognition thoughts helping you to do that based on what you learned in the past. So that's how it works. So these are the color-coded 7 thoughts, and these are 7 thoughts are the minimum thoughts that exist in any one mind energy, and it can go up to I think about 33. The Kusal thoughts and Akusal thoughts are on top of this 7. So they all occur. Imagine these lines get bigger and bigger up to 30, I think 3 or 4 is the maximum you can have of thoughts in one vibration. And that's called a mind energy. So mind energy has 3 stages: beginning, middle, end, and it basically occurs in a very, very fast time frame, which we can't really comprehend. In Pali, it's called Chittakshana, and in English, there's no word for it. So I had to describe it. So basically, the way to describe this is this vibrational energy occurs, trillion times whenever you blink. That's how fast it works. So you cannot comprehend it, but people who develop their wisdom thought, they can see this vibrational energy at that speed or even closer to that speed, depending on how developed they are to their wisdom thought. So when you learn that the thought energy consists of, a mind energy consists of thoughts. It's a collection of thoughts as well, but they're 2 separate energies that occur non-stop until you achieve nirvana. This is called samsara. So basically, if you imagine, this is the first thought or first mind energy and thoughts that comes to your mind when you're born in mother's womb. And then from that moment, this mind energy will continuously create vibration from moment to moment until you die. When you die, let's say this is your life, and this is the first mind energy, and this is the last mind energy of your life. The last mind energy you cannot control. Okay, it automatically get created based on the result of one of your most strongest karma that you've done either in this life or in previous lives. So this mind energy is very important because it dictates where you get born next. And you can't influence it in that moment. You can influence it by doing so many positive karma and converting these mind energies into positive mind energy by doing those 10 meritorious deeds in your lifetime. So if you practice those 10 meritorious deeds more and more, then you're bound to convert this last mind energy to something that is so positively impacting your next birth. Now, if let's say someone practice meditation daily, 2-3 hours a day, let's say, and they create these Dhyana states in their minds, that person, most likely, if they don't achieve nirvana in this lifetime, they will have a very positive impact, positive mind energy as their last mind energy when they're passing away or when they die in this lifetime. The last thought or the mind energy that comes will be positively impacted from one of their dhyanas. If they achieve the 5th dhyana through their meditation, that has a very high volume of karma that will impact on the last mind energy. which will either help them to go to one of the Bramma worlds or heavens. Right? If they're Buddhist, they'll be able to even achieve nirvana. Now, it is very important to state that only Buddhist knowledge people or people with Buddhist knowledge can achieve nirvana. Whether they have Buddhist knowledge from their previous lives or this life, because if you learn this Abhidhamma subject, then you will learn what you need to do to achieve nirvana. This is a science behind it. It's a scientific system which is been created by the greatest scientist ever existed. And he knows the construction of the 31 realms. He knows how it's created and how to get out of this never-ending cycle of rebirths called Samsara. And to do that, you have to basically end the connection between these mind energies, which is desire. Right? So it's important to understand this concept and this realistic Dhamma that exists today. And this is how all beings go from one samsara to another, one realm to another when they die. Good. So let's move to today's topic. And I just want to highlight 3 words. Kusal Sita, Vipaka Sita, and Kriya Sita. So Kriya means, whenever you hear the word Kriya means it's functional mind energy. That means it does not have the ability to create karma, whether it's positive or negative. So people who achieve nirvana, who hasn't passed away, who are still living, their mind energy, their vibrations like these are functional, which means their mind energies cannot create karma. That's a universal law. Okay? And when they die or when they passed away from this realm, then they will not be born again, because they finish all their karma account. Their karma account is 0. That's how you achieve nirvana. And when your karma account is 0, all your mind vibrations, energies are functional. They don't create karma, whether it's positive or negative. But before you get to that stage, you are creating karma constantly from moment to moment. Whether you think or not, every time your thought comes, you're creating karma, because it's the thoughts that creates karma, and thoughts are occurring all the time. So it's important that we direct our focus and our thoughts to the 10 meritorious deeds. When you do them, like meditation is one of the highest meritorious deeds, you convert all your mind energies in that time frame to Kusal. Kusal means positive karma creation, mind energies. When you create a positive karma, there's a result from that positive karma, and that result is called vipaka mind energy. And those vipaka mind energy are of 5 types. When you talk about the Bramma worlds, or the realms that's beyond the human and the heavens, the Bramma worlds we talk about, the 20 Bramma worlds we talk about. If you want to be born in those Bramma worlds, then you have to practice meditation and achieve 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th dhyanas. If you don't achieve nirvana, then you get born in those realms. There's a high probability. It can't be guaranteed, but we don't know what your karma is like on previous lives. But if there's no controlling karma from previous life, then your controlling karma of the last thought is made from this life. By practicing meditation, then there's high probability that you get born into one of those 20 Bramma worlds. Okay, so that's how the different mind energies work: karma creation, karma resultant, and functional. So we're going to talk about them in detail now. So today's lesson, let's begin. That's the summary we just covered from previous topics. But today's lesson is really based on these 15 Rupa Vachara, meaning the fine material realms that we talked about, the 20 fine material realms, mind energies, and these basically mind energies that occur in the 20 Bramma realms of existence. So that's the topic. So let's look at what they are. Let's look at the first 5. Okay, so this chart is quite full of detail, so I'm going to explain how to read this chart first. So out of the 15 mind energies that helps you to create karma to be born in the one of the 20 Bramma worlds or fine material realms, these are the 5 mind energies that helps you to do that. The first one is called these stages. This is called Samadhi stage, which is first Dhyana, second Dhyana, third, fourth, and fifth Dhyana. Or these are concentration levels. Sorry about the width there of the columns, but it says Samadhi stage and concentration development level. So whenever we experience the first mind energy or first level of concentration called Dhyana 1, right? In Pali, it's written like this: Vitakka, Vichara, Priti, Sukha, Ekagata, Sahita, Patamadhyana, Kusal Sita. That's the name given in Pali for the first mental state of Dhyana. So let's look about that. These are thoughts, okay? So we talk about these thoughts in our first 3 lessons. So the first thought that exists in this mind energy, I told you that the mind energy has a combination of thoughts, right? So these are the key thoughts. These are not the only thoughts in that mind energy, but these are key thoughts that determines that it's the first Dhyana level concentration thought or mind energy. So it has logical reasoning thought. It also have investigate thought. It has priti. Priti means joy thought. And it has sukha. Sukha means basically extremely good feeling. So this feeling of Dhyana level sukha or Dhyana level good feeling, you haven't experienced in your life yet, unless you achieve this Dhyana. So if you want to cultivate your desire to experience the most blissful feeling you can experience in this life, then you have to practice meditation and to a level where you achieve the first Dhyana level. The first Dhyana level happiness is less than the second Dhyana level happiness, and so on, and then the third, then the fourth. Now, when it comes to the fifth, there's no happiness. The good feeling, or the extremely good feeling, or the extremely happy feeling, is only there for Dhyana 1, 2, 3, and 4. When it comes to the fifth one, so let's say you are at the fourth Dhyana level with the extremely good feeling, which is the highest blissful feeling, because the way it works is this feeling, this extremely good feeling, the intensity of it, right, becomes pure as you go to second level, third level, and fourth level. So when it gets to fourth level, your happiness is not the happiness that you experience in Dhyana level 1. it's very, very fine. Okay. Now, when you achieve that, you're basically at a very blissful state. And these are different, these are 4 levels of blissful state basically. And when you're at the 4th level, you will realize that this level of happiness, I don't enjoy anymore. I want real peace. I want to get rid of this happiness. I want to feel neutral instead. Because this temporary happiness is, it doesn't allow me to keep my mind at peaceful level. So that's the kind of chatter that will help you to practice the concentration meditation even more and achieve the 5th dhyana stage, which is giving you a neutral feeling, upekkha. So notice that, so that's what the dhyana level benefits are. And there are many other benefits. I mean, you can achieve superpowers when you're at 4th level. You can fly and heal people and all of those things. That's what most of the Indian meditation system teaches you, how to achieve those. But the Buddhist meditation teaches not to cultivate superpowers, but to cultivate your concentration to a so fine a level as a 4th or 5th dhyana, and then use that concentration to identify the very subtle levels of your thoughts that lingers in your mind, so that you can get rid of them through insight meditation. So the concentration, there are 2 types of meditation, okay? Concentration meditation and insight meditation. You cannot achieve nirvana through concentration meditation. There are so many other religions that teaches you, even before Buddha's times, they teaches you about concentration meditation. Even before Buddha was born, there were teachers who have achieved the 5th level dhyana through concentration meditation. And Buddha has, before he became Buddha, when he was learning the teaching systems that was available at the time, he also could achieve 5th dhyana level before he became Buddha. But he found that through this 5th level dhyana, this is not the truth that I'm seeking. The clarity that I have doesn't still gives me the truth. So he started to basically analyze deeper into this highly level of concentration at 5th dhyana level. And then through his analysis, he found out that these energies, that the 169 energies is basically impermanent. Everything's made of those energies. We shouldn't really get attached to it. It's the attachment that helps us to get lost in these creations of these energies and get attached to never-ending rebirths. Instead, he saw the most purest energy that exists, called nirvana. And it is the nirvana energy that we need to also experience by developing our own wisdom thoughts. And you can do that even before you achieve, you can start that process of insight meditation even before you achieve the 1st dhyana level. But it is recommended to achieve at least, the 1st dhyana before you do the insight meditation. But because then you see more details, you see, because you have more, your concentration is so powerful at these levels that you can see the most finite details in your mind, called thoughts. You can see thoughts very clearly. So, but you don't have to, wait till you achieve 1st dhyana to start your insight meditation. You can do that before also, because we all know when you feel angry, right? We all know when you feel happy. We all know when you feel jealousy, all these negative thoughts. And if you know that, that means your concentration is quite high level. It's not at dhyana level, but it's at high level. And it helps you at that point to focus on those thoughts and watch them disappear rather than cultivating them. The whole point is not to cultivate, because if you cultivate them with more justifications of why I should get angry, why I should feel jealous, why I should feel more egoish, and why I should, cultivate negative thoughts. There's a story behind all of these thoughts. If you go after the story, you'll never get out of it. So forget the story, attack the root cause, which is the thoughts. The ignorance thought is the root cause. Attack that. Try to see the ignorance thought causing you to get lost in this never-ending thought vibration that occur in our mind, and try to see what thoughts are occurring, and try to stop cultivating the negative thoughts and cultivate the positive thoughts. It is through positive thought cultivation that you can achieve nirvana. It is through positive thought cultivation that you can achieve dhyana. So some of those positive thoughts are here: logical reasoning, investigate, extremely feeling good, one-pointedness or focus. Sahita means included in Sinhalese. It means included in Pali, in English. And Patama Dhyana means first higher mental state. Dutiya Dhyana means second higher mental state in Pali. Tatiya Dhyana means third. Chaturtha Dhyana means fourth, and Panchama Dhyana means fifth. So I want you to notice now that if I can focus on this last column, on the first thought, on the first mind energy, you have all the key thoughts that construct the first dhyana mind energy: vitakka, vichara, priti, sukha, ekaggata, and basically that's what. If you have all those thoughts highly concentrated, then you're in first dhyana state. Now, when you go to the second dhyana state, what's missing is a vitakka thought. The logical reasoning is not there anymore in that mind energy. And the third level, third dhyana, you're missing the vitakka and vichara. Can you see? In this one, there's no vitakka and vichara. This one only has vitakka, this one has vitakka and vichara both. So that's how you know that you are in these each levels of dhyana stages. When you know that there's no vitakka thought and vichara thoughts, so there's no logical reasoning or investigate thoughts happening or experiencing in your mind at that level, and for like longer period, then you know you're on third level of dhyana. So like that, on the fourth dhyana level, you're missing the vitakka, vichara, and priti. So even the joy is left out at the fourth level, because you think that even joy is a hindrance for you to achieve this peace. So when you discourage the priti thought, then you're left with sukha, the extremely good feeling, and ekaggata. Ekaggata means one-pointedness or focus, highly focused mind energy. So you only have those two thoughts. Now, to go from fourth dhyana to fifth dhyana, you're basically saying the extremely good feeling or sukha is even a hindrance for me. I don't want this this vibrational thought that hinders my peace. So once you get rid of that through practicing concentration further, then you convert your sukha into upekkha. The feeling thought. This is the feeling thought really that helps you to experience sukha and all of these. The feeling thought now on the fifth dhyana is converting to neutral feeling called upekkha. And when you have upekkha, when you experience that, then you only have upekkha and ekaggata, or neutral feeling or one-pointedness on the fifth dhyana state. So at that level, you basically are so peaceful, so calm, and you see so much details, and you can see your thoughts as clear as possible at that point. And then you can see how things are connected, how things basically connect from one, cause to another clearly. So using that clarity, you should now start practicing insight meditation. You can practice insight meditation at any of these levels, even before. But if you're at this level, it'll be easier now to understand what Buddha said about this desire and how it connects all the other, 52 thoughts and 89 mind energies, and even the Rupa energies, how they get connected. You can see all those things very clearly, and that we shouldn't really, there's no point getting attached to things that are material, because they're all made of temporary. Everything that's made is temporary. It's like everything's made of Lego, right? You won't get attached to things unnecessarily if you know that they're all, temporary. So even if you lost it, it's like if someone breaks your favorite toy, I know you maybe get attached to it initially, but you know that you can buy another one. So you don't really get attached to it, but unless you have sentimental value. But it's just the concept I'm trying to get you to understand, that once you know how things are made and that they're made of temporary materials, then there's no point getting attached to it. That's the thing you got to remember. No point getting attached to things that are made from temporary vibrational energies. Good. So this 5, the significance of this 5 is that these mind energies helps to be born in the Bramma realms, because they are so pure. And if you develop your concentration to this level, if you don't achieve nirvana, if you don't practice insight meditation, their result or their karma is for you to help to achieve your next birth in one of the 20 Bramma realms. So we looked at, what Dhyana level helps you to achieve the birth in which realm. So Dhyana level 1, if you go back to our chart here, so Dhyana level 1 helps you to be born in Maha Brahma, Purohita Brahma, and Parisajya Brahma realms. These are like names given like human world, right? These are the names of those realms. Second Dhyana level helps you to be born in Abhasara, Appamana Baha, Paritabha realms. Third level, Subhakinnaka, Appamana Subha, Paritta Subha worlds. And then fifth, so the fourth, basically, Akanittaka, Sudasi, Sudasa, Atapa, Aviha, Asanya Vihapala. So if you die without achieving nirvana, after achieving the 4th dhyana stage in the human world, then the chances are that if you don't have any powerful negative karma from previous lives, your last mind energy will be one of these. So will be one of the 4th resultant of a 4th dhyana, and that'll help you to achieve this, be born in one of these realms. Now, if you achieve 5th dhyana and then you die without achieving nirvana, chances are you'll be born in one of these realms. Neva sanya, na sanya world, anicca, akinchayatanya, akinchayatanya, vinyananchayatanya, and akasanyayatanya, akasanyayatanya. So akasanyayatanya, vinyananchayatanya, akinchanyayatanya, and nevasanya, nasanyayatanya. So these are the 4 realms that you get born if you achieve the 5th dhyana state and pass away because of the karma of these dhyana mind energies. So let's look at those. They're exactly the same. They just have a different purpose. So karma resultant mind energy, right? So previously was karma creation. This time is karma resultant. These mind energies is what is the first mind energy that you experience when you've been born in those realms that we talked about. So this will be your last mind energy if you achieve these dhyana levels in this lifetime, and then they help you to be born in those realms according to the dhyana level. So that's why it's called karma resultant, because they are results of the previous karma creation. These karma creations are created by meditation, meritorious deed. So when you practice meditation, you can achieve this level of blissful states. And as a result, if you don't achieve nirvana, these are the mind energies that help you to be born in those realms. Now, the last 5 is exactly the same, but it's functional, right? It's functional mind energy category. This means they don't create, these mind energies don't create any karma. And they occur in beings or people who have achieved nirvana, but not yet died. So until they live, they whatever they do, whether they eat, sleep, do whatever action, they're doing it using these kind of mind energies, but they don't create karma. So that concludes today's lesson. Any questions on any of those? Did you understand it? And do you have any questions? Niraka, do you have any questions?
So, yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Then you actually touched upon it, but about you can achieve these jhanas in this human birth.
Yes.
And then, and what about say if you had your bad karma from previous samsara, and you are do they get negated by the time you do the good the deeds?
Yes,
And,
there are. Sorry.
So when you do the meritorious deeds,
yes,
those get replaced, displaced by the good karmas, and as a result, so if you do achieve jhanas in this birth,
yeah,
those past karmas won't affect you, or
well, yeah. So it depends on the karma, right? So there are 5 types of karma called anantariya karma or negative karma. Anantariya means you cannot get out of those ones. Those will occur until you achieve nirvana, basically. And you know, one of them is killing your mother and father. You know, killing a monk or Buddha.
Yeah.
And I think there's another one, actually causing friction within the monks. So if you do those kind of things, I think there are 5. It doesn't matter how many dhyana states you get to, you still have to endure the result of those karma. And they'll make you straight go to hell after this. And until you finish the karmic effect, you have to stay there.
Right.
So, yeah. So
yeah.
And then once you finish those, then you can be born again in other realms, and then cause, you know, positive meritorious deeds, or create, you know, participate in positive meritorious deeds and create positive karma, and then allow those karma to help you to achieve nirvana. Yes. So unless you done one of those 5 karmic actions that you cannot get out from hell, then the other ones, the other karmas, yes, they get cancelled out. They get cancelled out. The higher dhyana levels you go, the quicker they get cancelled out. And the dhyana level supersedes those karmic actions because they're so powerful. But the anantariya papa karma, or the anantariya type of karma, like killing your mother, father, etc., and killing a Buddha. Actually, you can't kill a Buddha, but you can hurt. If you, it says that if you cause blood to come out of Buddha's body, like how Devadatta did, then that's anantariya papa karma. So like that, if you cause one of those, then you can't get out of it. But the fact that we're born in this lifetime means that we haven't done any, right? Any of those. Otherwise, we'll still be in hell.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was about to ask you that, because if by the time you, if we had done something like that, we would have already spent that time in the hell and then come here.
Exactly. Because it is said that Devadatta is still in hell, experiencing all those, karmic results. So, but yeah, so it's important now that we develop our positive karma that got us here by practicing insight meditation. Insight meditation is so powerful than the concentration meditation, because when you practice insight meditation through, observing our mind, for example, observing our thoughts until they disappear, then your wisdom thoughts get developed, right?
Yes.
So the key difference between the insight meditation techniques, there are 21 of them according to the Theravada Buddhism, and the 40 different concentration meditation techniques. The main difference is that the concentration meditation techniques help you to develop your ekaggata thought, which is a concentration or one-pointedness thought, whereas the insight meditation helps you to develop your wisdom thought. It is through the development of the wisdom thought that we will achieve nirvana.
Yeah.
So if you imagine your wisdom thought is like a mind's eye, okay, and you make in that mind's eye so sharp that it can see the most purest of energies, called nirvana. And when you see that, then there's no going back. That's your last life, basically. When you achieve nirvana. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah. Just thank you.
Thank you. Lasini, do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
Can you summarize what you learned from today's lessons, just to see how much you're taking away from today?
Well, there's 5 different is it Dhyana? I don't want to pronounce
Dhyana.
it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And each, like the higher level you go, there's one less mind energy.
Yes. Right, these ones. Yeah, and then how does that affect? So what is the difference between the karma creation, karma resultant, and the functional? What is the difference between those type of energies?
And the functional one doesn't have like karmic, it doesn't affect the karma, kind of.
Yes, it doesn't create negative or positive karma, right?
Yeah. And then the resultant one is like the result of the creation one.
Very good. Excellent. Brilliant. So does this motivate you to do concentration meditation? Now you know the reasons behind it. This is a question to Lasini.
Sorry. Yeah, because I think it's how, this probably won't like sound right, but how often would you have to, and like how long would you have to meditate for?
So basically the concentration meditation, all you had to do is start. I mean, I would recommend as a practice maybe to do 5 minutes a day for about a month, right? If you're not, if you haven't done it at all, maybe do that like first thing in the morning and the last thing at night before you go to bed. Just 5 minutes a day. Focus on your breathing and just observe the breathing. Now, when you meditate, it's important to realize that we have an inner voice. Do you know what I mean by inner voice? That's constantly doing some chatter, right? and that inner voice is what we call thinking, right? When we think, we let this inner voice do the talking. Now, can you both explain what is thinking? What do we do when we think? Because we think all the time.
We are trying to tell a story, like, isn't it?
It is doing, yeah, it is basically doing all those things, but how does it do that? What is the mechanics of thinking? Like you're doing it right now. What are you doing?
The thought like appears and then disappears, and then another one comes, and it keeps going like that.
What kind of thoughts are they? What kind of words are they using? What kind of structure of those thoughts is happening in your mind when you think? If you were to just summarize it, how would you summarize thinking? What is, if I ask you, what is the process of thinking? What is the answer to that? Any guesses?
So like that diagram before, it appears and then it stays for a while, like the middle and then the end.
Yeah, but that's just that's basically a vibrational structure, right? So definitely vibrations exist, but I'm saying in a layman's terms, how do you explain the process of thinking? Because that's something everyone does, right? So what are they doing when they think? Is what I'm trying to get to.
So you're thinking of something wholesome or something not wholesome? It just appears into you?
Yeah. So if you can describe it without using the word thinking, that might help. It's not a trick question.
So you're breathing and you're thinking about the breath.
Right. I mean, forget meditation. I'm talking in general terms. Right now in daily life, we think, right? If I ask you something, you give an answer. So let's say if I ask you to name the color, what is the color of this text here? Can you both answer?
Red, okay.
Red, right? So what I've done there is to ask you a question, right? I ask you a question, and then I directed your focus through that question to something I want you to focus on. Is that what I've done?
Yeah.
So I ask you a question, what is this color? And you said it's red. Because...
So the focus, isn't it?
Well, the questions direct our focus is number one, take away from that. Okay. So it's important to take control of the questions we ask from ourselves. So when we think, what we're really doing is asking and answering questions is one. Second thing we're doing when you think is we're creating statements, generalizations. Okay. So we do one of those two things. Like, what does it mean? Is it true? All these questions you're asking. And then whatever questions you ask from yourself, your inner mind has an answer for. So if you ask a silly question, it gives you an answer for it. If you ask an intelligent question, it gives an answer for it. So we should ask questions consciously, is what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
Yeah. If you ask questions consciously from yourself, is this, one of the checkpoints to qualify a positive question is to see, does this question falls under positive outcome or negative outcome, or kusal or akusal, good or bad, whatever label you give it. There's only two types of questions.
Yeah.
Intelligence or foolish questions, right? It doesn't matter what labels you give it. In Buddhism, we call them positive, in kusal, akusal, right? But they direct our focus. So if you want to take control of your life, take control of your focus. And to do that, take control of the questions you ask. Right? Simple as that. We shouldn't really complicate these things. If we consciously monitor the questions our inner voice asking from ourselves, we basically take control of our life. We take control of our karma. We take control of our thoughts, our words, and our actions, because they're all governed by the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
next time when you think,
Yes.
decide, is this a good question? Is it a positive question? Is it going to help me to move forward in life? For example, example of a silly question is, if something bad happens to you, you ask question like, why does it always happen to me? It's a common question people ask. Well, it doesn't always happen to you. But if you ask a silly question, your mind will give you an answer for it to justify. So if your mind can give you all sorts of answers, if your mind is like Google, ask an important question from your Google mind. You understand?
Yes. Yes. Basically, like, just have to stop thinking, isn't it?
Exactly. And my point is, when you do concentration meditation, you got to give a command to your inner voice saying, can you please shut up now? Because I'm about to meditate, right?
Yeah.
If you make it go quiet, because it will listen to you. If you direct your, your question towards it, because you're doing it mindfully, you're doing it through your wisdom. You're saying, can you please be quiet because I'm about to meditate? And then it will quiet down. And you may wonder for a little while, but then you just tell it again until it does. And then your mind becomes peaceful. Now your mind is ready to focus on your breathing. Otherwise, it jumps from one thought to another, from one question to another, one question to another, and you cannot focus on your breathing or whatever you're focusing on. So the meditation begins, when you start meditating by quietening your inner chatter.
Yeah.
And that's true observation for you. You're in observation mode when you do that. Otherwise, your monkey mind will jump from one thought to another, one question to another. It's through question it jumps, and then you cannot concentrate. So that's because of the distraction thought is powerful. So if you just understand the process of your mind, you can easily take control of it. It's not a big thing. So the answer to your question, Lasini, you can start, quietening your mind and start meditation with a quiet mind by watching your breath, going in and out, and then do it for 5 minutes for a month, and then next month increase it for 10 minutes. Do it for a month, and then 5 more minutes. Just keep adding, and then suddenly you have very strong concentration. And when you do that, you want to, because when you're so peaceful, you feel blissful, and you cannot achieve this kind of blissful, state buying material things, doing shopping, watching TV, all those pleasurable things that we distract ourselves for temporary pleasure. This pleasure that we experience through Dhyana level or meditation level, you cannot buy with physical money or material things. It is mental, and it is the mental peaceful states that people are searching for, and it's right here. You don't need money for it. All you need is the right guidance and the will to, and the determination to succeed. So hope that helps, Asini. Hope you start practicing concentration meditation, and then maybe let us know how you get on next time.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you very much. I think we'll leave it there today, everyone. And watch the channel and just remind yourself.
Okay.
And there are some further readings. So you can learn about Abhidhamma from these readings and listen to other learned monks' meditations and teachings on Abhidhamma. So I basically use the manual of Abhidhamma for this lesson, which I think I have shown you in the past. So you can actually download that for free. This is the book. So let me put that on the chat for you. You can click on it and read it, but it's in quite a technical language. I'm just simplifying it. So you can reference all of these to this book. And And today's topic is coming from page number 52. So it's this fine material sphere. We talk about this Dhyana. So this is how you identify which Dhyana state you're in, by knowing which thought exists in that state of mind. Thank you, and I wish most blissful experiences for you, and ultimate blissful experience of Nibbana for you to achieve in this lifetime with the shortest time frame, with the most pleasurable path, with the most pleasurable experiences. And may you all attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this lifetime. Theruvan Saranai.
And same to you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Take
Thanks.
care. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.